Welcome, everybody. It's time again for another episode of SLMA Radio, one of the longest-running B2B radio shows around. Interviewed over 500 executives over 10 years and 100,000-plus listeners. Today, we're privileged to have our guest host, Laurie Beasley, president of Beasley Direct and Online Marketing.
Thank you, Paul. Paul is our announcer on SLMA Radio. I'm Laurie Beasley, president of Beasley Direct and Online Marketing, and I am your host for this program today. Today we're going to discuss incorporating the 6 universal buying motives to improve your email copy and response rates. We've almost forgotten how to do good marketing in the midst of all of the challenges. And what I mean by good marketing is remembering who the customer is and writing good copy and good content and selling our product to them. The best book I've read on advertising, and it was written by David Ogilvy, and the book is called Ogilvy on Advertising. And in the book he says, and I quote, "The customer isn't a moron. She's your wife. You insult her intelligence if you assume that a mere slogan and a few vapid adjectives will persuade her to buy anything. She wants all the information you can give her," end quote. And he was right. You need to give a consumer a real reason to consider and buy your product and not the competition. Mere slogans and soundbite won't do it. Anne Handley said in her book, quote, "Everybody Writes," to me, the thing that's most important in marketing today is the idea of empathy. I would even go so far as to call it pathological empathy. You've really got to focus relentlessly on the recipient, end quote. Good writing requires us to have empathy for our audience, their situation, their needs, their goals. That means you have to meet people where they are with an attitude of benevolence and, I think, largesse to help them find answers to their problems. How do we get away from allowing the product manager, quite frankly, to dictate the copy content and forcing us just to get ourselves into a cram it out mode? And in fact, nowadays it feels to me like the marketing calendar dictates what's going out and the product managers dictate it more than really the ideal and the idea of great copy and great communications. And often I feel like the email marketer thinks that they've done their job if they've gotten the headline to fit the banner just right, or if there's just the right number of sentences, bullet points to fit the template, email template copy area, or if they got it into the template, fit into the marketing calendar and the data loaded and it's just going to get approved and out on time. But did anyone stop to think if the headline made the prospect feel better about choosing your product over the competition? Or if the bullet points answered their need for time savings and convenience? Probably not, because the emphasis is on the template and the schedule, not on the need to write copy that gives the prospect motivation to buy your product. I feel like it's time to stop and think about what your recipient needs to know about your product. I will end on this. I hope that some of these points were useful to you. You can reach me through my website at www.beasleydirect.com. That's it today. It's been a pleasure. Paul, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
You've been listening to another episode of SLMA Radio with our guest host today, right here on the Funnel Radio Network, for at-work listeners like you.